Okay, so my name is Patrice Berque. I'm a physiotherapist. I work in the NHS at Glasgow Royal Infirmary, which is just a few meters away from here, and I also do some specific work with musicians 2 afternoons a week, and I've been involved in research in this field as well. So musicians do have problems, usually musculoskeletal problems, and the main complaint they will come to me with is overuse syndrome or overload due to the amount of playing that they will have been doing. So increasing the amount of playing before exams, before concerts can be a big issue, and they will develop pain and problems, usually affecting the muscles and tendons and joints of their body. So in the case of musicians, it's mainly the upper limb, so your arm, shoulder, elbow, wrist, fingers that are affected. So in terms of prevention of problems, there is a list of things that you can do. Keeping fit is important, so doing exercise, aerobic exercise, doing some strengthening of the major muscle groups like your shoulders, your shoulder blade, your back, your neck is important. And in terms of playing the instrument itself, the loading has an impact as well. So you want to be able to decrease overload if you can by applying a better posture, by maybe using ergonomic devices that help to support the instrument better without so much difficulty or overload. And often, in the case of students, anyway, the amount of practice is important. They tend to practice too much, or when exams are about to happen, they will increase their practice time, and that will cause acute syndromes very often. So pacing is important, pacing the amount of playing they will do, and also being able to practice away from the instrument can be a useful technique, so you don't have to blow in the instrument if it's a woodwind, or you don't have to be in the position of playing. You can still practice your finger patterns without actually playing. They sometimes need to see someone. Okay, they need a diagnosis in some cases, so it's usually useful in the early stages to see either a physiotherapist, a GP, a doctor to get a diagnosis. And then if retraining is required, then that might involve sessions, usually with a physiotherapist, to look at how they can change their technique, how they can modify their posture. So it's usually best to find someone who has some information, who has some knowledge of how musicians function and work. So we'll go back to, as I said, maybe treatment of these injuries, then followed up by posture retraining, technique retraining, and strengthening and endurance to avoid problems in the future if possible. Well, I've seen a lot of papers with focal dystonia. That's mainly why I see them for, but I have seen a few other ones with issues with their hands, or with especially the left hand, and the way they hold the instrument. So because the bag is on the left side of the body, they usually develop tension and poor posture of the shoulder and shoulder blade because they have this bag under the left arm. So there are ways to try to modify this, getting a better shoulder control, shoulder blade control. For some of these papers, I've asked them to buy a different type of bag, a longer bag, which enables them to place it higher under the arm and to be able to hold it without squeezing so much. So that would have an impact on the amount of muscle activity in that left side and free their hand to be able to play a bit better.